Right, it's almost done. It took about 3 minutes, 4 minutes to finish. And let's just quickly look at the result. If I go to that output folder, leave that. Export. Here are the tiles. They're all exactly the same size. Okay, so this was exported by World Machine. The next thing we're going to need is the textures. So I'm going to export them as heat maps. Now, when I say textures, I don't mean the grass. I mean, it's going to save a grayscale. Where should the sand, where should the grass, and where should the rock be? And then we're going to import these as layer coordinate, layer blend, landscape blend landscape layer code, something like that. Landscape layer. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused between material nodes in the Unreal Editor. So landscape layers. So we're going to have a grass layer, a sand layer, and a rock layer. And then obviously you can also paint in manually at different areas. You can paint in different textures and different, like for roads and things like that. You can still do that. I'm not going to do it in this video. Might come later, but let's do the materials now. Because I feel at the time of this recording, that took me the longest while to figure out is how to do those. There aren't enough out there, especially when it comes to World Creator 2. This is so fairly new. I don't think a lot of people are using it specifically in Unreal Engine. There is a sync tool to Unreal Engine, which I haven't used. It's not ready for release yet, so I'm not going to go through that trouble just at the minute. So let's try and export the heat maps. What is a heat map? See if I can enable it. I think it's there. We go. So let's hit grass. So there's the grass heat map that I'm looking for. So everywhere where it's red, it's going to be a mixture of, you know, gray, black, white on black. So white is no grass, full black, a lot of grass, sand, and then rock, and then this is going to get exported as grayscale. That's the idea. So I'm going to go to export. Now keep in mind, you do not export this tiled. You export this as a single huge texture, and the size is going to be 8072. So it's going to be an 8K image roundabout. It's not going to get MIPed. So I think it gets processed one off, or it gets imported into the engine and referenced somewhere, somehow as data. So just keep that in mind. I didn't read through the engine code and all the engine documentation of exactly what do they do with that information, and what I talk about exactly when I get there. So go to export heat maps. Make sure you tick select heat maps. In the drop down here, I'm just going to choose textures, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to flip Y again. Do not tick split, and then when you hit export, I'm going to go just keep it in the same folder where I'm at. Then I'm going to click save, and then I'm going to pause the video again because it's going to take a little while. Right, so we'll be back in actually as slow as I thought. I could be wrong. I think I'm just going to pause it anyway.